It is a sought-after accessory bought by millions of people each year, but is purchasing a Christmas sweater bad for the environment? Hubbub, an environmental charity, believes it is, warning that many jumpers are made wholly or partly of plastic and only worn once. With 12 million sweaters set to be purchased before Christmas, is it time to ditch the fast fashion fad? Joining me now is fashion influencer Ashley James. Hello to you, Ashley.
Hi.
We were just talking before we came on air. When we were growing up, Christmas jumpers were not cool at all. When did it become such a thing?
I feel like when we were growing up, it was like something that your dad had or your grandparents had that was embarrassing, or your gran would knit you on, like in Bridget Jones.
Yes.
And I actually think it was Bridget Jones that was the turning point for people wearing them, because then it became an almost like ironic accessory. But I think the trends changed a lot, and now rather than it being a thing where you go find an old charity shop jumper, there's a lot of new Christmas jumpers, so people are purchasing new ones, and I think that's where the environmental damage comes in.
Yeah, and these tend to be cheap, man-made fibres, a lot of plastic, and although they're raising money for charity and doing a lot of good for charity, they're having a big impact on the environment.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are made from acrylic, which when you wash them, a lot of the plastic ends up in the ocean, and of course a lot of people only wear them once or twice. So I think what the good thing to do is go to charity shops, go to second-hand shops. There's a lot of good online retailers that are second sellers, so like e-bloggers or Depop, so you might be able to find an amazing one there. But also, I think Christmas jumpers are cooler when they're vintage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the message to take away is that if you do buy a Christmas jumper and you don't want to wear it anymore, then take it to a charity shop or sell it on one of the online sites so that someone else can get use of it.
And because we talk a lot about the fast fashion culture that we live in now, but this is kind of in the worst way, isn't it? Because you're buying these garments only to wear them, once or twice in December, and then...
Yeah, do you know what? I think fast fashion is obviously a real problem, and especially I do talks at universities, and I was shocked to know that if somebody wears something at university and they get tagged on Instagram...
I was going to say social media is a problem.
They won't wear that outfit again, even if they haven't put a picture up. And when I was at university, I had one going out dress that I think saw me through the whole of university. So I do think that celebrities, influencers and social media all have a lot to answer for, and I would like to see more of a trend of people re-wearing the same clothes and then trying to like buck that trend a bit. I've just brought out a collection which is made out of recycled plastic bottles, so it's kind of taking fast fashion but trying to make it a little bit more sustainable.
Do you think retailers are wising up to this now and waking up to the threat of fast fashion and starting to be more responsible?
I think retailers follow consumer trends, so if we demand them to be more sustainable, eventually they will have to be.
But if we keep buying it, they'll keep making it.
Exactly. So it's up to us as the consumers, and I think with charity shops, especially if you go to fancy areas, you can find some real bargains there, and a lot of the time they are brand new items.
And we had a report earlier with a charity shop where they were customising Christmas jumpers for people and giving lots of ideas of how you can make your own.
And I think that's fun. I think that's fun even for kids going to school, like to be able to have that kind of DIY element to it. I think that's a great thing.
Ashley James, thanks very much indeed for coming on.